good people. Today I'm going for my first Reiki session. So I'm in the Amethyst Centre in Coventry, and I'm going to be receiving a healing session from a wonderful practitioner here called Chris, who will be speaking to you shortly. We're just about to start now, and really looking forward to it. I've had the opportunity to just speak to Chris and learn a little bit more about Reiki. I wasn't massively knowledgeable about it. I mostly encountered it through my friendship and relationship with a senior practitioner of the Buteyko method, who's also a master Reiki practitioner. And through her, I encountered it, became a little bit curious about it. And today, after many years of this journey, I'm now going to be experimenting with this, and I'll be sharing the journey with yourselves. So we'll see what it entails. And I'm just about to start my first session now. So I'll be with you in a sec. Hello folks, so I've just had my first Reiki session, which was a really interesting session. I've literally just completed it. It's been about 2 minutes. You're very relaxed after the session, so you have to be mindful when you're getting up and stuff, because you're like deeply in a relaxed state. But then you return to like your more normal state. During the session itself, it was definitely it's a very interesting thing if you have it done. You do feel like the sensations I was getting like was a lot of heat actually, which was interesting. And you can definitely feel, even though you're very relaxed and like it almost feels like you're asleep, but you're not. You're conscious and whatever else. But you can tell there is like a subtle thing working on you, like a subtle force, if you like. It's a strange thing, but I noticed it, definitely. So I'm just going to be speaking to Chris now, who is a Reiki practitioner, who I'm going to ask her a few questions about like what was happening and so on, so we can get a bit more insight into what Reiki is and what it can do for people.
With wheels at your head to start with, and basically to open the session I connected to Reiki, and then worked your way down your body to your feet. Some places I touched and other places I didn't. I worked actually off your body and in your aura. But all of your body received Reiki, either by my hands being on them or my hands being above them at one time. When I got down to your feet, and I could hold your feet and sort of look up through your aura and see what was, see what it's like, if there's anything else I needed to do, which there wasn't. When I finished the session, and when I knew it was time to finish, then I disposed of the sort of excess energy, if you like, and smoothed your aura back into place, because sometimes it gets a bit ruffled in these sessions, and disconnected.
That's really interesting, and one thing that really stands out to me, and one thing that most people, I guess, when they have a Reiki session would be really interested in speaking to a practitioner about, is, I appreciate you have all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life and backgrounds coming in and working with yourself, but all of us have our own unique history. And one thing that you said was about aura. Now, I'd be really curious, like, what can you tell from someone's aura?
Different people tell different things, and I've come to the conclusion that it's a lot about you and what you can read. Although we do learn, as we move on in Reiki, we do learn how to actually assess someone's aura and what is going on in it. Another way to describe the aura is the human energy field, because we all have an energy field, and our hearts, for example, are electrical conductors. It produces its own electrical current, and so does the brain. So we each have an energy field, and the more sensitive you can get to the energy field, the more you can tell about what is actually going on.
That's super interesting. And obviously most people who are on this journey would be curious to know from the perspective of someone like yourself, was there anything you were able to tell from my energy field? Or at this moment, do I have to just keep doing the work I'm doing?
Well, that's always a good idea. Because you're consciously taking care of yourself and developing yourself. but yes, there was. Your energy field that I could pick up is actually a lot further developed than a lot of other people that I've come across, and that's possibly because we in the West don't actually, mostly don't acknowledge the existence of the energy field or the aura, or our spirit being. We don't actually do anything about it. So a lot of people I come across have very depleted spiritual energy fields. Yeah, yours isn't. And one of the ways that we can actually develop that is through doing martial arts, which is why I asked.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, because martial arts practitioners, for example, one of my students is a mixed martial arts practitioner over in Bedworth, and his energy field is actually bigger than this room when I worked with him.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I had to actually leave the room to find the end of it. But that was actually a privilege to work with him, because it was such a great place to be around him. Yeah,
I really resonate with that. People who do things like that, mixed martial arts, it's so disgustingly tough as a thing to do. It is. Yeah. He's fighting a war, and what it takes as an individual to step up and do something like that, it's a spiritual journey. You need more than just heart. You need more. It's something so deep in a person.
Absolutely.
Really is.
I have people sent to me from a local Aikido master, because he told me that the founder of Aikido knew the founder of Reiki.
Wow.
And that Aikido is like the physical means of cultivating your ki, which is the way the Japanese refer to the energy field, and the Reiki is the spiritual way of cultivating ki. So if you get too much of one, you need the other. Fascinating.
And one thing that I'm going to certainly take away then is it's really positive for me to know that my energy field, my kind of spiritual energy, is getting to where I want it to be. Because I certainly have done a lot of work on it, and it was quite rewarding for me to hear from yourself that the first question you asked was, do you do martial arts? Because pretty much how I live my life, right, it's very disciplined, it's very structured, I push myself very hard, and I do very much consider myself living like a warrior's life. So the fact that you picked up on that, Tal, is fascinating, honestly. Yeah. And there's a lot to this practice. Clearly, that tells me there is something massive here. So, thank you so much for your insight, Chris. And how can anyone find you if they're interested in working with you?
Okay, well, the Amethyst Centre's on Ball Hill in Coventry. If you're local, you'll know Ball Hill. We're on the corner of St Michael's Road. If you're not local, we have a website, which is amethystcentre.com. We have a Facebook page, and
could you just briefly let